Hey, I'm Trish. I'm going to look at Idaho 4. What is going on with that Linda Lane footage? So my intention was last week I did a reading on the Linda Lane, but I did the reading number 1. Now when I first read on something, I skim the surface and I go in really having no knowledge. I kind of go in blind. So my intention was to do that reading, see what came up, and then look into the Linda Lane footage, watch it, and then do a reading from there when I had questions. Now, firstly, what I did was Googled, Linda Lane footage, and all that kept coming up on the big channels. They were talking about the Elantra at 4 a.m. that was getting around everywhere, and I did that. I did, do a little Google on YouTube. Well, I did YouTube it before I did the reading last week, and that's all I found was the Elantra. But when I was tagging out that video, preparing it for upload, it gives you a bunch of tags that you can put in, and because I put in Linda Lane, it said Linda Lane audio enhanced was one of the tags, and I thought, okay, well that's interesting that that's a tag. So I went in and I searched in the engine Linda Lane footage audio enhanced to see what would come up. Now also, if you go back to my reading what happened at 2 a.m. on the Idaho 4 case that I did, there was a comment in there that said that a lot of the things that I had said had really made sense with the Linda Lane information that had come through, but I had to steer away from the house and look at more about Linda Lane. And then that person gave me some creators, their names. One of them was Cara. Cara's a small channel like me, so I did subscribe to her channel, so don't forget to subscribe to mine as well. But I did subscribe to Cara's channel and I binge watched all of her footage. So when I said it was getting dark, the cards were getting quite dark. The energy I was feeling was getting very dark, and that was reading it on a basic level before I had the information. Once I listened to the audio that Cara had put together, now I'm sorry if I remember, I'll put in the comments what Cara's channel is. If not, her name is in my video comments, the 2 a.m. video on the Idaho 4. But I binge watched all of her content, and what she does is she takes the sound audio from the grub truck as well as the Linda Lane surveillance camera, and she listens to it and she types up and puts like the words up there of what they're saying, because I couldn't understand it. I couldn't hear it when I first had a listen, and then when I found Cara's channel, Cara very clearly makes it very clear. Now I've got a couple of points to say on this before I start the reading. The first one is I was kind of shocked about how it did make sense with the readings that I'd done. It kind of really gave me more of an insight to what the cards were saying. I wouldn't change anything I've said about the cards, but it kind of really helped me to make sense of why they were coming out, why the cards were coming out the way they were coming out. Also, the dream that I had about the bus came to light here, because it was me, the dream was me on a bus, and this was on my dream episode. I put about my dreams on the Idaho 4 and how they were related. So one of them was I was on a bus full of college-age students. We pulled up at a gate, they all got out. I went to get out as well, and I got stopped, and they said, you can't go any further than this. This is where it ends for you, something like that. It stops here. I did say it like on that video. I actually said the whole thing of what happened, but it was somewhere along those lines anyway. But I kind of understand that, because once I heard the audio on that and the energy from last week's reading, things were getting really dark, and for me to keep reading and digging deeper and deeper, I'm going into some really dark territory here, really dark energy. And that dream was telling, my spirit team was telling me that I wasn't going any further. So they're not taking me any further into the darkness. I'm not going to see any, I saw enough goriness last week in the last reading, so they're not taking me any further than that. I'm not going any further into the darkness. I will have a look around it, like I'm curious to see what Dylan and Bethany are doing now. I'm curious to see what their energy is right now, so I'm going to do a little look on their energy and see what's going on with them, and see what the cards say about them. But I also want to ask about the authenticity of the Linda Lane footage. It's alright for us to watch all of these videos and these enhanced media, But do we know it's true? Do we know it was taken on the same time? Was the, you know, time at the top doctored? Or we just don't know. I just think you've just got to be so careful. So I do want to look at the authenticity of that Linda Lane footage. Also, what I'm getting here, I did pull up in the card something about a fight with Xana, the fight around Xana that was going on. I even said it, and then I'm hearing now something about Fight Club or something with Xana. So there's some really strange things going on here. How do we know that this Linda Lane footage is not just showing, because I mean, part of the audio that I heard that really kind of got to me was Ethan yelling out Xana a few times in a distraught way and saying, "Get off her." So, you know, you think of that being maybe that the time of the actual crime, but maybe that was a fight club or something and he was watching that and somebody, who knows, I don't know, but I'm just saying, I mean, these things are what's coming out now on some of these channels, so it could be any of those. Just because the Linda Lane footage is, okay, for one thing, is it real? Is it authentic? Is it, you know, real footage, like real audio that we're listening to? And then secondly, is it audio of the murders, or is it audio of a fight club or something? Because the cards did say a fight around Xana, related to Ethan. There was a fight around Xana. So was it just like a fight club that people are talking about? Who knows? I'm going to ask anyway. The other thing is the cards have been saying all along that the grub truck, or the delivery driver or delivery person, which could even be the driver, like the person that took them home, very, very important. So big things playing out there as well. They've got audio now of the grub truck, and Kara's been analysing that as well. It's not just Kara, it's other channels as well. In my comments you'll see other creators that are doing the same, but I as I said, I watched Kara, so it was her channel that I was watching. So there's two things that I want to know, you know, is that audio of the actual crime being committed, or is it audio of something else that was going on prior to the crime? And I'm keen to have a little look at Bethany and Dylan and see what's going on with their energies at the moment. What are they doing right now? So I'm going to get my true crime cards. These are my creation. These cards will be available soon. They'll be the next ones that I make available on my website for purchase. This is a group of cards. I'll read them all together in a moment. Something really important, these two cards flung out, and what they are is inside job. So it is actual footage of what was going on the inside of that building, that on the Linda Lane. So it says inside job here. And my next question was going to be, was it of some kind of fight, or was it of the actual crime that was committed? And here it says death. So it's quite possible, as they are all saying, that it could be footage of the death. The Linda Lane videos could be footage of the death, because these cards are saying it's footage of what was playing out on the inside of Linda Lane surrounding death. Okay, so here I'm seeing the devil energy that we saw last week, that quite kind of rage energy, where I said somebody took it to an extreme level and where it ended in death. So took it to the extreme where it ended in death, but that kind of really rage type extremism energy playing out again there as well. So same as last week. You're not going to believe this. Family connection again. It's come out in all the readings in the last few weeks. Okay, this card here says somebody wanting to talk. There's somebody in that situation that wants to talk. It could also be related to the sounds that we're hearing. So where we have, where I'm asking about the footage, or is really audio, we're listening to audio is what we're hearing. We're hearing audio about the family connection, that severe kind of energy that was playing out there, related around the death and on the inside there. So here I'm seeing, last week when I done the reading and my energy burned out, so I couldn't finish the energy, but the last question that I finished was, I was asking about, was somebody bound? Because these two cards came out before. It said bound or restrained, marks left behind. These cards came out last week and I went to read on them, but I was quite fatigued at the end, so I couldn't really interpret them, and I was getting very distracted and reading other things. So isn't it funny that these cards are coming out again? It's like they want me to continue on. Okay, so let's have a look. So this might be kind of a part 2. Okay, I'm just going to read these ones very, very quickly. We've got Magician, which can indicate sometimes ritual. Here we've got Accomplice, which indicates more than one person. Here we've got Wrong Direction. Here we've got a Creative Narrative. Both of those two cards are very similar in their meaning, so it meaning that creative narrative means lies around the situation. We're sent up one direction when it's a different direction. Here we're looking at Temperance, which is moderation, healing. I sometimes read this as drugs too, this card. Not always, I've got plenty of drug cards, but sometimes I do being drugged. Sometimes I do read it as that. Temperance can be read as patience, moderation. Okay, here again we're talking family home, or the home, the frat house, the house. This is my Brian Koberger card. This is drugged or poisoned. And this is protection. So the cards that I'm going to ask here is, I'm just going to read further into the marks left behind and the restrained card. What's that all about? A couple of things going on here seem to be the same cards that come out all the time. I don't know where to start with this. Just to let you know, it says follow the money, so money's involved here. And Empress, this is the mother figure, this is the Empress card. I think I read this last week as Anna. I know she's the youngest, but I did kind of read, funny enough above it, this is my Idaho 4 card. This card represents Idaho 4 because it's 4, it's a social group and it's 4. So this I always read as, when I'm meant to read on Idaho 4, this card comes out. So here we're looking at sickness or unwell next to it. Lovers being Zana and Ethan. Jail, something around jail, a commitment or a commitment. Okay, so there's a bigger picture of the commitments made around Ethan and Zana, or something that involves somebody going to jail because of something around Ethan and Zana, with lovers. Here down below there's a missing piece, and here's the aggressive attack. Now there's a lot going on here. Follow the money, Empress. Empress, I'm not sure if it is a dominant female. I read it last week as Zana, but I'm kind of not feeling that it's Zana today. I'm feeling it's coming out for another reason. It's coming out as a female that's quite dominant in this. A female that, because this is the Empress, so it's like the female Empress, like the female ruler, or the female related to the money. So the female related to the money. Here we've got the Gossip and Rumours card. Gossip and Rumours card I was reading last week is like the lots of people involved. Could be something that's playing out on a main stage. But there's a lot of gossip and rumours, and I do believe that too. I do believe there's a lot of gossip and rumours going on around this case as well. A lot of distractions and a lot of gossip and rumours that's playing out. I'm not just talking about the Brian Koberger arrested and his jury. I'm talking about there's other things floating around that are gossip and rumours. I don't believe everything I see, and I don't believe everything I hear. So I'm just feeling like that gossip and rumours is coming up. But I am seeing there is, around the aggressive attack, there's a much bigger picture involving jail. Maybe somebody could have went to jail, or it was keeping somebody out of jail. Here, somebody was oblivious or unaware what was going to happen because there was or what deals were made. Okay, here I'm getting that there was a deal made behind their back. This is also the card sitting right next to it. Now I understand where it's coming from. Okay, this is gossip and rumours, but something that's played out behind your back. So somebody was unaware about the deal made about their life. So here, the person that's involved in it, one of the people that died, one of the victims, somebody made a deal behind their back, which resulted in their death. Now, I don't know which person this is or which victim this was, but there was some kind of deal made, or they were trying to make a deal for their life. But it's showing me that they were oblivious or unaware of the deal that was being made for them. That's what I'm seeing here. So it's like it was done behind their back, and they were oblivious, so unaware that the result that happened was going to happen. Maybe they thought they'd made the deal. Maybe it could be like a deal gone wrong. Here, there's a deal. It says deal with the devil. You've seen that the devil card's been coming out, and that didn't go to plan. Maybe they thought it was going to be okay. Maybe they made the deal, and then they thought it was going to be okay. But here I'm seeing it's happening behind their back. So there was a deal made behind their back, and they were unaware or oblivious that the deal was made on their life. And that involved the aggressive attack. It involves a bigger picture around the jail. Follow the money, the Empress, the female energy here, and a missing piece. Idaho for sickness or unwell. Lovers being Ethan or Runner. First of all, look at Dylan. I don't think I've ever read on Dylan before. So I'm just going to shuffle the cards and just do a little spread for Dylan and see what she knows, how she's feeling, is she doing okay, was she involved, all those kind of things. I don't know what the cards are going to say, but let's just have a look and see. I'm going to keep it completely unbiased. I have no opinion. I don't really know that much about her. I'm just going to try and remain unbiased about. Okay, looking into Dylan's energy. First of all, I see the Wheel of Fortune turning. What goes around comes around. That's karma. I'm also seeing a web of lies around her as well. Now, I did also pick up misfortune when Wheel of Fortune fell out. I kind of read it as misfortune, but it is a karma card. It is about what goes around comes around. There is a web of lies surrounding Dylan. Something around Dylan. There's lies. Getting a lot of evidence cards around her. So I'm seeing evidence or statement. I'll just show you evidence or statement. World card means end of life, end of situation. So she either has put in a statement, or they're trying to get a statement. They're trying to get some kind of evidence from her around the end of life. Here is a powerful person or group. So maybe they're trying to get information out of her about a powerful person or group. It's missing information. It's a missing piece. Maybe she holds the key to the missing piece around the powerful person or group. So she's in quite a predicament, I've got to say. And another evidence card. This is about getting facts here. Okay, so there's here's my Idaho Fall card. Here is my Ethan and Xana card. Okay, so let's separate them and see what they're saying. We've got the card of the Tower, which is the chaos that occurred, the actual crime. Okay, so I'm seeing around Dylan. Also seeing this card here is my resilience card, but I do read this as death blow because this person is stabbing the ground, stabbing the water. So I do sometimes read this as the death blow, like the stabbing. So here it's saying the stabbing of the Idaho Fall. I'm just reading these in a line and see if we can get a sentence out of it. Repeat offender, somebody that done this before or done something similar before or involved in crime of some sort. Unseen. So unseen. We're talking Dylan. Has she not seen? Okay, so there's a missing piece around a powerful person or group. She has the information. She has that information. there's evidence or statement around it, and again around the World card, which is the death. So she has information, but there is a web of lies here around her, and it's saying what goes around comes around. So there's karma involved here relating to Xana and Ethan here, but also down the bottom we're talking the 4 victims. Here we're talking about the actual weapons here, like the weapon or death blow. We're talking about a repeat offender and what was seen or what was not seen. So did she see it? So what I'm going to do is just break this down. I've just got to say these cards say a lot of evidence here. There's a lot of evidence cards. Reviewing the facts, missing pieces searching for, evidence or statement surrounding the final moments. I find these ones a little interesting. Oh, web of lies. She just could be lying. Okay. I'm not going to read into the next lot of cards. I'm just going to ask a bunch of questions that you're probably thinking. Okay, first of all, is she safe and well? Is she safe and well? Okay, so there's some deal made, so she's safe and well. There's been a deal made around her, so to keep her safe and well. She may have been oblivious or unaware that that was made, but there's been some kind of deal made that she's okay and she's well. She's safe and well. Okay, does she know what happened? Does she know what happened? Okay, more than one. Tied down. One of the questions and I don't know if I asked it, about the restrained. Does she know when it's restrained? Or tied down. More than one tied down. Does that mean more than one of the victims were tied down? Or does she know or does she know that there was more than one involved and it did involve someone being tied down? Because it's funny, because the restraint card and tied down cards have started to show a lot lately in this reading. Did she see it? Did she see it? She's in too deep, it says. Okay, questions around Dylan. How involved was she? Was she involved? Seen or surveillance? Seen or surveillance? I said, did she see it? Seen or surveillance? Someone she knows well. Something about the vehicle, the transport, travelling, dropping someone off. Here, the narcissist energy, we saw that. Here is about the party substance or the drugs, and here it says, this is my fault. Okay, let's read Bethany. Let's read Bethany's energy. Okay, so when I'm reading Bethany's energy, here's what's coming up. Wanting to walk away or run away or get away. So wanting to get away from it. There was a level of strategy or planning that either she was aware of or that went into it so she could get away. So she was safe. Okay, she is taking a burden here. There's a level, this one says this is my fault. So there's a level of taking some kind of burden or responsibilities for some part of this. So I don't know what part, but there's a burden that she's carrying here saying this is my fault. And here there's a sadness, a separation sadness as well. So there is a sadness here that's coming up in her cards. Here I'm seeing there is a deal. There was a deal made for her to get away or walk away. So there was a deal made for her to get away or walk away. There is a level of undercover card coming up again here as well. Something playing out either undercover, in the background, or undercover. Here it is, phone records. There's something about phone records here that she has, or maybe she saw it on the phone, maybe she watched something, but there's something here found in the phone records to do with Bethany. related to this. She knows that something didn't go to plan, so maybe there was some strategic planning or strategy or planning involved that maybe she was aware of, but it did not go to plan, did not go the way that she was informed that it would go to the plan. And here it is saying, this is not my fault, this is not my fault. Oh, sorry, not involved. Here it's saying, this is my fault. So taking a level of burden or responsibility for it, but here it's saying not involved. She's not involved. So I'm going to ask the quick questions again for her as well. Same questions. Penny, safe and well. Okay, here it's saying family home, or at home. Maybe she's at home. A suspect, or has motives. So she's either a suspect or has motives, but she's at home. It says family home. Here it's saying a wrong direction, either a wrong direction taken, something about a wrong direction with her. Let me pull a card on that one. And somebody I know. So she knows something. What I'm just really asking here is, she's safe and well. Accomplice. Also suspect and motives. And the house card, which could be frat house, fraternity house, could be her family home even. Okay, does she know what happened? Does she know what happened? This one here is saying suspicious mind, but it's another person looking on a phone, watching something on a phone. Distractions or monitor screen on the bottom. Again, accomplice and somebody I know. Okay, wrong direction on the bottom again. What do you mean by wrong direction? What does that mean? Okay, hanged man, heavy burden, follow the money. Okay, did she see it? Did she see it? Monitor screen again. Party substance, hangman again. Watching, she was watching the death, but she was safe and well. She was safe and well. Family connections. And split mind. Split mind is where we separate both scenarios, or both the timing. We separate timing is what they're saying here. So maybe she saw like Xana and Ethan, but didn't see Maddie and Kaylee, because we're separating that time with the two timepieces, and showing two different times is showing me two different crimes. Maybe the answer that just came out then was related to one section of it only, like maybe it was just the Ethan and Xena side of it, not the Maddie Kaylee side. Pull some final cards on this reading just to end this one, but I'm looking into another crime instead. I feel like, as I said at the beginning, where the bus, they got off and they told me this is as far as I can go, they won't show me any more. I feel like they're not showing me any more of the crime itself or what's going on there. That's why I'm just kind of tapping into the energies of Maddie and the two surviving housemates, just to see how they're going, or what information's coming up around them. So I am looking into another case. So if you have any suggestions, please pop it in the comments, because I really feel like I want to move on from this one and start looking at a different case instead. So I'm really open to any suggestions that you have. But let's do some final word cards to see the final reading for this case today. that the IDAHO 4 group, like the IDAHO 4 was a crime, some of this was a crime of opportunity. So part of this was crime of opportunity, and I said that last week as well, but it's come up again. But then part of it was related to the burdens, or the burdens that somebody was carrying came up, and that's when I was talking about Ethan and Xana last week. They were carrying burdens, and that was partially why. Actually, this has come up the same as last week. So last week when I separated the two parts, I put Maddie and Kaylee together and Xana and Ethan, I got the same thing. I got the confrontation. There was a confrontation or a fight around Ethan and Xana. So the cards are saying the exact same thing, and it was related to their part that they played in the situation, or the burdens that they were carrying, heavy burdens that they were carrying, or the heavy load, whether how much they knew or how much they were involved in something, they were carrying heavy burdens. And then there was also confrontation around those two. And then I got that the Maddie Kaylee section, crime of opportunity, was the same thing, came up same thing last week, and that was the four there. Also getting here, repeat offender, something unseen, and suspicious motives. So again, we got this card last week when I said they were watching, watching out of a window for who was across the road or on the road, and that became a crime of opportunity. And that was related to repeat offender. Now I wonder if repeat offender was in that reading that I did last week when we were talking about Maddie and Kaylee. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you next week.